Jai Sriman Narayana.
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 I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayana. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those of you that are watching this discourse locally, nationally and internationally, and I welcome you in advance that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted in the various groups from around the world. Our topic continues with our discussion on the Bhagavad Gita as translated and commentated 1002 years ago, or 820 years ago by Lord Sri Ramanuj. Lord Sri Ramanuj was born 1002 years ago. He wrote the Brahma Sutras after the ripe old age of 60, and subsequent to that, he wrote the commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. And that darkness that prevailed in the minds of people in that era continues to prevail today. Various gurus have gone or come to the West, and they have interpreted and commentated the Bhagavad Gita in a particular philosophy. And this is confusing the minds of the international world as to the exact purport, meaning, translation of the Bhagavad Gita itself. Many have taken the liberty of forming institutions and making the West buy in to a particular translation of the Bhagavad Gita. So 1,000 years later, using this platform of the Sri Narayan Dham, we are going to once again remove the ignorance that has pervaded the mindsets of both those that are born and living in Sanatan Dharma and those that are born outside Sanatan Dharma that want to understand Sanatan Dharma as it really is. So using the Bhagavad Gita as the substratum for the next couple of years. We're going to present through the Bhagavad Gita Sanatan Dharma as it really is. To do this, I will read you verses and commentary by Lord Sri Ramanuj himself, and then we will discuss these verses with our own examples, and wherever necessary, we will corroborate with other authorized literatures. Lord Sri Ramanuj advocated that the three authorities in Sanatan Dharma is the Vedas, principally the Upanishads of the Vedas, the Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita. And he further noted that the Itihasas, the secondary scriptures, must be used in conjunction with the primary scriptures. The secondary scriptures would be the Puranas that are in Satagun, the Ramayana of Valmiki, and the Mahabharata, together with the Pancharatra Agamas. When one reads Sastra or scripture with all of these above mentioned literature, then one will become enlightened and the ignorance will dissolve into knowledge. Lord Sri Ramanuj also instructs that the verses in the Vedas should not be seen in the sense that it was written only. These verses must be contemplated upon using reason and logic together with meditation. Reason and logic together with meditation. Meditation does not mean closing your eyes and expecting a blue light to beam through it. Meditation means constant remembrance of the verse that you have read. So you don't just read a verse and understand it on the surface. You read a verse, you use reason, you use logic to unravel the depth of the verse, and then you constantly meditate or remember that verse until it dawns upon you. This will assist in removing the ignorance that has followed man since time immemorial. So I am going to, together with Lord Sri Ramanuj, Nata Muni, Yamanujacharya, my Guru Swami Sudarshanacharya Ji Maharaj, and various other Gurus and Acharyas that belong to the Sri Sampradaya or the spiritual lineage from Lord Narayan down to me and through to you. Yamanujacharya, over 1,000 years ago, in his Gitartha Sangara, verse 1, he states, in the scripture known as Bhagavad Gita, Narayana, the Supreme Brahaman, is declared. He is attainable by bhakti alone, which is brought about by the observance of one's own dharma, acquisition of knowledge, and renunciation of attachment. In this verse, Yamanujacharya makes it very, very clear that the Bhagavad Gita revealed Lord Narayan as the Supreme Lord. Yamanujacharya makes it very clear in this verse, 1,000 years ago, that Lord Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself through the Bhagavad Gita. So as we move along, from the information that has been provided by Lord Sri Ramanuj, I will show you that Lord Sri Krishna expounded Vishishtadvaita. I will show you Lord Sri Krishna expounded Vishishtadvaita. Lord Narayan is the founding principle of Vishishtadvaita. His breath is Vishishtadvaita. Hence, he is the first Acharya of Vishishtadvaita. Any incarnation of Lord Narayan has to be expounders of Vishishtadvaita. That goes to reason, logic, common sense. Logic and common sense. Lord Narayan is the source of all incarnations, any incarnation from the source will logically and naturally expound the philosophy of the absolute truth of the source. And Lord Sri Krishna is the authorized incarnation of Lord Sriman Narayana, and he speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, and his Bhagavad Gita have to be Vishishtadvaita. And if Lord Sri Krishna expounds Vishishtadvaita in his Bhagavad Gita, then there is no room for Advaita, Dvaita, or any other philosophies. For when God speaks, He speaks in absolute. And when the absolute is spoken, there is no need for any saint or sage to form an opinion or create his own understanding. For that is not lawful in Sanatan Dharma. So we will show when the verses come to the fore that Lord Sri Krishna is from the Sri Sampradaya. Lord Sri Krishna is from the Sri Sampradaya, and he expounds Vishishtadvaita. We will remove the ignorance and the confusion that saints, gurus took to the West by giving absolute evidence as found in the authoritative scriptures themselves. So the Bhagavad Gita states through Lord Krishna that Lord Sriman Narayana is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Vishishtadvaita is the breath of Lord Narayana. There should be no confusion. There should be no confusion. Lord Narayan is absolute, and because he is absolute, he reserves the right not to be known by the mundaners unless they follow an absolute system. If they follow an absolute system, then they will have a glimpse of Lord Sriman Narayana in this very lifetime. In this very lifetime. And there are three hindrances, three main hindrances, or dirty lenses on the eye in which the Supreme Lord cannot be seen, although He is omniscient and omnipresent all the time. The first obstruction is ignorance. The first obstruction is ignorance. The opposite of ignorance is sorry?
Intelligence.
Knowledge. Opposite of ignorance is knowledge. To kill ignorance, Yasmin, we use the bullets of knowledge. We carry on bombarding ignorance with bombs of knowledge. And one day ignorance will die. And knowledge will reveal the truth. Knowledge will reveal the absolute truth. The second point is, or the second hindrance is the scattering of the mind. Is the scattering of the mind. And I'm sure that does not apply to anyone in this satsang. No one has scattering minds here. Anyone has scattering mind? Sita, your mind don't scatter?
Long ago it should.
Any minds scattering, Dana? No minds are scattering. To remove scattering mind, you need meditation. When you are thinking of 25 to 30 things, yes, no, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes. I must kill my husband, no, I must not kill him. I hate my husband, no, I love him. That is called a scattering mind. To kill that scattering mind, you need to adopt meditation. Meditation means constant remembrance. Constant remembrance of Lord Narayana will kill any mind or the rays of any mind that is scattered. You need to retract the rays of the mind that is scattered and point it to Lord Narayan. Fix it on Lord Narayan. And when the rays are all pointed to Lord Narayan, the mind stops being scattered. And it has now one objective, and that objective is focused on Lord Narayan. And the last part is impurities. What is the opposite of impurity? Peter.
Purity.
Thank you. Opposite of impurity is purity. Which impurity we talking about? Body, mind and soul. So we need to purify our body, our mind and our soul and harmonize the body, mind and soul in purity. And how do you do that? By coming to satsang, you purify your soul. When the Guru gives discourses, transcendental discourses, the transcendental discourses is equivalent to jik. It goes into your ears and makes your black heart white. Makes your black heart white. Transcendental knowledge at satsang pours through your ears, goes into your body and makes your black heart white. Prasadam, food that you eat from satsang, goes into your gross body and removes all the bad toxins and purifies your gross body, because prasadam, or whatever food that we cook, we offer to Lord Narayana and the Sampradaya. And when the Sampradaya takes a lick of the food, have you all been licked by Gomata? All of you all when you feed the Gomata? Yes. Similarly, this bhog that we offer the Supreme Personality of Godhead is tasted by God, and anything touched by God becomes absolutely pure and spiritual. And when you eat food that is touched by spirituality, then the atoms in your body, when it comes into contact with spiritual atoms, will purify the negativity in your body. And the negativity in your body are the toxins. Then, when you do selfless action for God, without expecting any fruits, without expecting any fruits for your action, when you do your action with love. And I want to take out a photograph if it's not windy tomorrow, because I don't think in these 5,000 years of earth has the ground ever been swept in a design. Our whole parking place was swept in a design by a doctor who was doing selfless seva for a few weeks now. She has become the maid of the Sri Narayan Dham. Any corner you will find this doctor. And she is doing selfless seva without expecting any fruits in return. She was taking the taxi here and I stopped her and I told her to take a lift with one of the devotees. She even wanted to pay money to come and do seva at the Sri Narayan Dham. That purifies your consciousness. Purifies your consciousness. When you expect nothing. When you expect nothing. I shared a post of Chinna Jayar Swami yesterday. How many of you saw that post? Worship without any reason, otherwise the worship becomes impure. You all saw that post? I shared it for a reason. Just worship. It may be hard in the beginning, but just worship. Just worship. Just tell God, I love you. He doesn't want anything more. Don't tell God, I love you if I get the job. I love you if I find one fat boyfriend. I love you if I get an increase. Just love Him. Sita,
I do that.
just love Him. And that's how simple spirituality is. So with this background to the Bhagavad Gita itself, we will continue on the last verse. Who remembers which was the last verse? 11. And what was the 11th verse? Now doctor will have to sweep the bottom half of the land. We have 4,000 square meters. So verse 12. Then the valiant grandsire Bhisma, senior most of the Kuru clan, roaring like a lion, blew his conch with a view to cheer up Duryodhan. And I said he had to cheer up Duryodhan because Duryodhan was depressed. You only cheer up people who are depressed or sad. Duryodhan, just to recap, his army was almost 40% greater than his opposition. He wanted this war. This war at Kurukshetra was instigated by him. He is supposed to be absolutely ecstatic that he has a larger army and that the war that he wanted is now happening. But he was rambling and babbling from the outset, and he is depressed because a demon is always in a state of depression. He's always sad. The reason a demon is always depressed or sad is because a demon is ignorant. A demon is ignorant. Many demons know the entire scripture, all the scriptures, but they are still ignorant because knowing the scripture means absolutely nothing. Prahlad Maharaj was teaching a classroom of demons. You all remember, those of you know that story? Prahlad Maharaj, at the age of 5, he was the only divine. All the children that he was teaching were demons. So it is a job of a Vaishnavite to teach demons. If Vaishnavites don't teach demons, who is going to teach them? That is, Nobody. So Vaishnavites have to teach demons. Prahlad Maharaj at the age of 5 taught his fellow schoolmates, who were all demons, who God is and what God's instructions are. Need I say anything? Verse 13. Then suddenly conches and kettle drums, trumpets, tabors, and blowhorns blared forth, and the sound was terrific. Verse 14. Then Sri Krishna and Arjuna, stationed in the great chariot yoked with white horses, blew their divine conches. Verse 15. Sri Krishna blew his conch, Pancha Janya, Arjuna his Dvaita, and Bhima of terrible deeds, his great conch, Paundra. Verse 16. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch, Ananta Taja, and Nakula and Sahadeva blew their conches, Sughosa and Mani Spaka. And the king of Kasi, verse 17, the Supreme Brahaman, Sikanda, the mighty warrior, Drasta Yumna, and Virata, and Satyaki, the invincible. Verse 18, Drupada and the sons of Draupadi, and the strong sons of Subhadra, all, O king, blew their several conches again and again. And that tumultuous uproar, resounding through heaven, earth, rent the hearts of Dhritarashtra's sons. So Sanjaya, who has divine vision, is explaining the scene at Kurukshetra to Dhritarashtra, who is blind. And he explains that Bhisma blew the conch from the side of Duryodhana. And then from the side of the Pandavas, he goes into comprehensive description and naming of many individuals who blew the conch. Because naming the side of the divine is worthy. Naming the side of the divine is worthy or worthy, and naming the sign, naming the demonic is worthless. You agree with me, Anita? So he did not name all those people who blew their conches from the demonic team, because naming or glorifying a demon is worthless. It has no value. Demons have no value on this earth. Absolutely no value. So Sanjaya, in his description, omitted to describe the demons. But on the side of the divine, he not only mentioned their names, he even mentioned the names of their conches. A simple thing, like a conch. He named their conches specifically, because naming anything on the divine has a value, because divinity itself is absolute. And if divinity is absolute, it has absolute value. And anything demonic is wasteful. Is wasteful. Okay? And Sanjaya took his time in describing to Dhritarashtra the scene at Kurukshetra. When he described the sound that all these instruments were making, when he described the sound emitting from the demons, he used the word terrific. He used the word terrific. The sound of all these instruments and conches that were emitted by the demons were terrific. But when he described the sound from the divine, he described it as tumultuous uproar resounding through heaven and earth, rent the hearts of Dhritarashtra's sons. When the divine does anything, it is absolute. It has total value. Tumultuous and terrific. For sound to be terrific, relative to tumultuous. Relative to tumultuous. Terrific is weak. Tumultuous is resounding. This sound of the divine was so powerful that it permeated the heavens. And not only that, it entered like a spear into the hearts of the demons. It entered like a hot spear through the heart of the demons, because the heart of a demon is always weak. The heart of a demon is always weak. The heart of the divine is rock solid, because the divine always have God behind him. So when the demonic sons of Dhritarashtra and their army made a noise, it did not even shake a leaf. But when the side of God made a noise, it shook heaven, it shook earth, and it rent asunder the hearts of the demonic. Because the heart of the demonic is weak. Always weak. Weak in the sense that it is always blabbering and rambling. Blabbering and rambling. A solid heart need only speak one sentence. A weak heart will continue talking outside the topic. And last time I said, when you talk about apples, a demon will talk about burgers. A demon will talk about burgers. And the topic is apples. Because the demonic mind is impure, a demonic consciousness is impure, a demonic heart is weak. Where am I getting this information from? The Bhagavad Gita. Who spoke the Bhagavad Gita? Who is Lord Sri Krishna? Incarnation of Lord Narayana. Which group of people are followers of Lord Narayana? Those that are born in Sanatan Dharma. If you do not understand and follow these instructions, then you are a demon. Who says this? All of you understand? You think the Guru is making anything up? I'm making observations from the scriptures themselves, Peter, and I'm discussing the scriptures. I'm discussing the scriptures. These principles are found in the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah themselves. Divine principles are found in all scriptures. In Sanatan Dharma, we use the mentality of divine and demonic. In the Bible, or from Zoroastrianism, the divine and the non-divine took a personality. And from Zoroastrianism, to the Jews, they started calling the demonic Satan. In Sanatan Dharma, it's a state of mind. Outside Sanatan Dharma, the same state of mind which we call demonic have been personified as Satan. Okay? And in my lifetime, I will show that all religions on this earth took the root from one source. All religions on this earth took the root from one source. There is only one absolute truth. Okay? Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? To sum up, we will show through expounding the 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita that was spoken on the fields of Kurukshetra in the epic called the Mahabharata. We will show that Lord Sri Krishna himself expounded Vishishtadvaita, and if Lord Sri Krishna, the speaker of the Bhagavad Gita, himself expounded Vishishtadvaita, then there is no need for an Advaita translation or a Dvaita translation or any other translation, because no one has a right to change what God has said. So I will be providing the Bhagavad Gita as it really is. I will be presenting the Bhagavad Gita as it really is. At this point, I want to wish Peter, you can turn your camera towards him. You can wave, Peter. I want to wish Peter a happy, turn your camera back. Sit there, you don't have to, just turn your camera to him. A happy 1002nd birthday. Sorry, that's Lord Sri Ramanuja. Although he looks older than 1002 years old, we wish him his 69th birthday. Peter has walked into the Sri Narayan Dham, I think about 4 months ago, Peter?
13th of March.
Look at that. 13th of March, he walked into Sri Narayan Dham. Peter is a man, if anyone understands the word, I think they should change that terminology, Jack of all trades, to Peter of all trades. Because Peter personifies the Jack of all trades. Peter handles the engineering, the plumbing, the electrical, you name it, Peter knows it. And Hemita and I discussed yesterday that Peter is a Vaishnavite. He just doesn't know it. He's a man of absolute pure heart. He's a loner. His beard will tell you that. He's a man of absolute purity. Whatever he does, he gives gratitude for every grain of food we have given him from the day he has entered this ashram. He has given gratitude for every cup of water that he drinks in this ashram. He does not stop giving gratitude. Yet, I cannot put a price to what Peter has done in this ashram. I love this man.
Likewise.
I really do. And I wanted him to dress in a dhoti and kurta. Stand up, Peter, let the world see. No, he'll come for his birthday. I just wanted to include Peter in my main discourse. Thank you. Equally important and not fitting him second. Rahil, we wish you a happy birthday yesterday. Also, of pure heart and pure soul, this child has no contamination. He is the same person I met many years ago. His love is the same. His respect is the same. His humility is the same. He is not going to get influenced by anyone. He loves his Guru. On his birthday, he bought his Guru a mini pizza. And a chocolate cupcake. And he only had 2 minutes to bow down, give his Guru the pizza, and jump in his cousin's van. And he did all of that with absolute love. I rather have a handful of pure devotees like Rahil. Peter is a devotee, he just doesn't know it. I'm sure in the next initiation I will initiate him. I'm sure he will take initiation. Yeah. Alright. And I offered him place on this premises as well. The building behind this ashram, I told him we're going to start the project and he'll have his room there whenever he wants to stay. He can spend his sunset years in the ashram and we'll send him to Vaikuntha. We're not swearing you, Peter. Vaikuntha in Sanskrit means a place of no anxiety. And all those who follow loyally this system go straight to a place of no anxiety and revel in the blissfulness of God. Alright? But I'm sure you're still going to modify my building before you go. There's a lot of work.
We, okay.
We, okay? Alright? Rahil, you as well. I wanted to wish these two great people on my main discourse. And they can make up, just the two of them, I can replace thousands of devotees. Because Peter has not given me any stress, neither has Rahim. Although Peter only works 1/2 of the month. Jai Sriman Narayana.
Jai Sriman Narayana.